Good morning. My name is Vijay. I'm an IIT Madras and IIM Kozhikode alumnus, and I'm very popular in Quora. I have about 1.7 million views in Quora. So first I'm going to start with this particular technique wherein if you want to subtract any number followed by zeros, we use this technique. So here we have a number wherein I have 4 followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros, and then I'm subtracting it with 5, 9, 2, 3, 7. So what I should do is I should subtract the units digit from 10, and I need to subtract the rest of the digits from 9. So you can get the answer at the fastest possible time by using this technique. We are subtracting the units digit from 10 and we are subtracting the rest of the digits from 9. So 10 minus 7 is 3, 9 minus 3 is 6, 9 minus 2 is 7, 9 minus 9 is 0, and 9 minus 5 is 4. Okay, so what we should observe is this is a 5-digit number. 59237 is a 5-digit number. So what I should do is I have to slash off these 5 zeros. I need to slash it off. So it all depends on the numbers you have it on the right hand side. Since it's a 5-digit number, I am slashing out 5 zeros. The number that is left is 40, and this number should be decremented by 1. So I get 3940763. So it won't take a lot of time. The best part is in speed maths you can get the answers at the fastest possible time. See, the advantage with this particular technique is you can get the answer at the fastest possible time. In fact, it just takes few seconds, because all I did was I subtracted the units digit from 10 and then I subtracted the rest of the digits from 9. And finally, since this is a 5-digit number, I slashed out these 5 zeros, and whatever number is left, that number has to be decremented by 1. So it is important because this number again has to be included in the final answer. So my final answer is 3940763. So please remember that you can use these techniques only when you have a number followed by zeros and when you are subtracting any other number. See, the technique number 2 which I'm going to teach today it's called the cross multiplication method. So over here in the board you can see that there are 4 different options. Option A is 2 by 11, option B is 3 by 10, option C is 4 by 17, and option D is 5 by 19. So I want to find out which fraction is the largest. So what I do is I use this particular technique called cross multiplication in order to find the answer at the fastest possible time. Yeah, so I have 2 by 11 and then 3 by 10. So what I should do is I should just cross multiply. So I know 10 into 2 is 20. 3 into 11 is 33. So we know that this number 33 is greater than what is called 20. So what we should do is we have to eliminate this option 2 by 11, because 3 by 10 is greater than 2 by 11 for a very simple reason that this number 33 is greater than 20. So what I should do is I have to strike out this particular option called A, because when I'm comparing 2 by 11 with 3 by 10, I know that 3 by 10 is larger than 2 by 11. Now next, what I do is I take this number 3 by 10 and compare it with 4 by 17. So what do? I use the same cross multiplication method. So I know 17 into 3 is 51. I know that 10 into 4 is 40. So we know that this number 51 is greater than 40. So again, what do? I retain 3 by 10 and then I eliminate this particular option called 4 by 17. So again option C is ruled out. Fine. Now finally what I should do is I have to compare this particular technique, this particular number, that is 3 by 10 with 5 by 19. So I have 3 by 10, I have to compare 3 by 10 with 5 by 19. Okay, so I use the same cross multiplication method. I know that 19 into 3 is 57. I also know that 10 into 5 is 50. So we know that this number 57 is greater than 50. So what we do is we strike out this option 5 by 19, and what we're left is this particular option called B, which is 3 by 10, which is the largest. So any complex fraction, the numbers that they give on the day of an exam, just by using the simple method called cross multiplication, wherein you just cross multiply, you get the answer at the fastest possible time. I told you my name is Vijay and I come with an IIT Madras and IIM Kozhikode background. So there are two workshops which we are planning to conduct. The first one is the basic level workshop on speed maths, and the second one is the advanced level speed maths techniques. Now both these workshops are very, very important for any student who have maths as their subject, and then at the same time it is also useful for your preparation for Maths Olympiad. And then even when it comes to IIT JEE or BITSAT exam, the students can do the calculations at the fastest possible time. So please remember that most of the competitive exams are a test of speed and then accuracy. And speed maths helps you because you can do any complex calculations at the fastest possible time. And other than these four exams, if you look at any competitive exams, even if you look at the groups level, if you look at the what is called the IAS and then the IPS level exams, where you have maths, to any competitive exams, even say if you consider GMAT, these techniques are very, very effective and it is useful. So please contact the following numbers, and we are coming out with a workshop in April. There are two workshops which we are planning. So one workshop will be in English and the other workshop will be in Telugu. Both these workshops the focus is on the basic level workshop, and the workshop will be a one-day workshop which starts at 9 AM in the morning and it is till 6 PM in the evening, and we'll be conducting it in a star hotel. So it would include materials. We will also be giving you a certificate from our side. There will be a tea and a coffee break in the morning with cookies, and then followed by lunch, and again in the evening there will be a break with tea and coffee followed by cookies. So looking forward to meet you all soon. Thank you.